Wakana and Marin both arrive back at Wakana's residence after a shopping trip to get the materials for the next cosplay outfit Wakana was going to make. Heading upstairs to his room, Wakana mentions that the mannequin that he ordered will be arriving soon. In Wakana's room, Marin shows the bottom half of her newly purchased swimsuit, which shocks and flusters Wakana, as he wasn't expecting it. Marin also mentions that she sent Wakana a couple of text messages with a photo of herself, and he failed to reply to any of them. To Wakana's inner confession, he admits that a lot had happened after he saw that picture of her. Marin goes into an explanation about the new swimsuit, making Wakana become apprehensive toward her. Because of this, Marin teases the befuddled Wakana, who asks to be left alone for a while. Later, Marin paints a smooth glass rock, prompting Marin to ask Wakana if he blows on his noodles to cool them off, and Wakana answers that he does. She then comments that it feels good to be useful, making Wakana think that he was useful to her. Marin then undresses to try on the outfit, and while Wakana is far too scared to see Marin do this, she claims she's fine with it, but realizes she wasn't wearing an appropriate bra at the time. Eventually, Sejuna arrives and tries on the outfit that Wakana made for her and Murray while wearing her own outfit. Wakana asks Sejuna if any adjustments or changes need to be made. Sejuna comments that the skirt could be poofier, and comparing her comment to his notes, Wakana agrees and offers to add wiring to it. But she says she'll use a tutu that she has. The cape that goes with the outfit is then worn, and as Wakana and Sejuna talk about it, Marin listens in, despite not knowing what they're talking about. Interrupting her train of thought, Wakana asks how Marin's outfit is, and she says multiple times her outfit is insane. As Wakana prepares Marin's hair for her wig and makeup, Sejuna peruses Marin's makeup kit and gives her some tips and offers some of hers to better match her cosplay character. Wakana asks that Marin use the cosplay tape that they have to make her eyes look sharper to match the character more. Applying the tape to Marin's face, Sejuna advises Wakana to use bobby pins to keep the wig and tape in place. Once the finishing touches have been made, Marin uses her phone as a mirror to see herself and, in a flustered state, claims that she's been Black Lobelia all along. But Sejuna denies that notion. Despite her enthusiasm to take pictures of their cosplays, Marin is crestfallen when it rains on the day of their shooting. In contrast to Marin's disappointment, Sejuna is cool-headed about it, noting that it happens. During their heart-to-heart with each other, Marin asks to take a selfie with Sejuna, and she agrees to it. After Marin posts it online, she notes how many likes it gets, and at that moment, Wakana arrives with Shinju, who shocks both Marin and Sejuna with her presence. In a flashback, we see the events of the group scouting places to do their shooting taking place after Sejuna faints from an anxiety attack. When nearly everyone goes their separate ways, Wakana asks Shinju if she too would like to cosplay, and goes on with an explanation of why he thinks that. Hearing this makes Shinju frown, and Wakana gets flustered and apologizes for saying something so blunt, but Shinju confirms it. She claims that there's one character that she hopes to cosplay as. However, due to the character's anatomy compared to her own, it's impossible for her to pull off. There's also the notion of disgust and rejection coming from her older sister that has her feeling self-conscious. But Wakana gives her some words of motivation from his personal experiences. Shinju then pleads with Wakana to help her, and he happily agrees. As it turns out, she wants to cosplay a character from the same series her sister and Marin are cosplaying from. The character that Shinju wants to cosplay is Soma Oni-chan, which irks Wakana, and she also mentions that due to being fat and unable to pay for the materials for the cosplay. This makes Wakana have an epiphany about how young Shinju is, and the financial complications of cosplaying as a hobby can be. Despite the disadvantages against Shinju's dream, Wakana promises her that he'll make it possible. At Wakana's residence, Wakana gives Shinju his school uniform, which is practically identical to the clothing the character wears. Trying on the outfit, Shinju's bust makes the buttons pop off the chest, which Wakana has to sew back on. To fix the problem with Shinju's chest, Wakana suggests that she use a Sarahashi wrap to flatten her chest. Waiting outside of his room while Shinju gets dressed again, Wakana reflects on the hardships most cosplayers have to deal with when they have to make adjustments to their body to fit the character's image. The Sarahashi wrap does make Shinju's stomach flatter, but not so much her chest. There's also the need to use something to broaden her shoulders. Using his phone to search for an alternative to flatten her chest, Wakana finds a product known as a bee holder that fits their price range. Shinju purchases it, and then Wakana tries to measure the circumference of her head, but unintentionally causes a scene involving her chest. Some time passes by, and Wakana purchases a wig for Shinju's costume and invites her over as he cuts it. At first, Wakana is too stressed out to cut it, which surprises Shinju. He's an expert in whatever task he performs. Wakana denies being able to do such a feat, but notes that there's someone in his class whom he feels the same sentiment toward. After his explanation, Wakana shows Shinju all of the makeup he purchased at a store and proceeds to prepare Shinju's cosplay. Back to the present, Shinju surprises both Sajuna and Marin with her own cosplay. Overcome with emotion and completely self-conscious, Shinju is surprised by the warm reception given to her by both Marin and her sister. They then take a commemorative photo of the three of them and then frantically prepare themselves for the photo shoot they were originally there for. Shinju and Marin take photos of Sajuna as Wakana watches in a dazed state. Once this is done, Marin takes some co-op photos with Sajuna. Despite Sajuna's unnerved state, Marin was overjoyed and elated to take the photo with her. Internally, Sajuna chastises Marin for her unprofessional attitude and claims that she hates Marin's type with a big smile. While Marina and Shinju take some more photographs of Marin's cosplay, Sajuna thanks Wakana for creating Shinji's and offers to pay for the expenses of Shinju's cosplay. Although Wakana declines to accept any payment, Sajuna insists on it and admits that she was ignorant of her sister's desire to cosplay. However, Wakana gives Sajuna some moving words that Sajuna compliments Wakana as wonderful. Meanwhile, Marin has photos taken of her by Shinju, and during it, Shinju's beholder breaks. Afterward, Sajuna and Shinju review the photos they took earlier that day in her room. They also have a heart-to-heart about Sajuna's self-conscious nature, about her appearance, and how she envies Shinju in some ways. Recalling something that Wakana once said, Shinju resolves herself to get a part-time job once she reaches high school and will start cosplaying. Exhausted by the work they did that day, Sajuna claims she much prefers doing things with just Shinju. On the other hand, Shinju claims that she had fun and was glad that they did it. Looking at a picture of Wakana, Sajuna softly claims if she feels like it, she'd do it with Marin and Wakana again. At home, Wakana is contacted by Marin, who is reviewing the photos she sent. Watching the Flower Blaze series on her side, Marin asks Wakana how he managed to do such a great job applying makeup to make Shinju look so masculine. Wakana answers that he simply read how to do it in a magazine. Furthermore, he confirms that Shinju wore his student uniform for her cosplay. Also, Marin misinterprets something Wakana said, making her think that Wakana wanted to start cosplaying himself. Wakana then clarifies the comment and informs her that, after an impromptu moment, he had Shinju visit his home to set the cosplay up for her. Although upset, Marin tells the ignorant Wakana that all is fine despite her acting contrary. Lying in his room, Wakana looks at the in-progress new cosplay for Marin called Veronica. A brief flashback shows Wakana in Marin's room watching a video displaying the character as they enjoy some pizza together. Because the character has a darker skin tone, Wakana suggests they digitally touch the photo up, and Marin agrees to it. While contemplating the complexities of cosplay costumes, mainly the ones that he's created in the past, Marin arrives and Wakana goes to meet her at his doorstep. When he does, he's left shocked to see Marin with a dark tan. She informs Wakana that she used a foundation to give her a pseudo-tan. Because Marin was drenched in sweat, she took a shower and Wakana gave her a change of clothes for her. Afterward, in Wakana's room, Marin shows Wakana the makeup and fake chain and cuffs that she'll use for the Veronica cosplay. She also shows Wakana the bricklayer backdrop that she'll use for the background of the photo. Despite not having the sharp fake teeth for the cosplay, Wakana reveals that he learned that fake nails can be used as a substitute for the cosplay. Marin tries on the teeth, and Wakana is impressed by them. Marin then prepares to try on the cosplay, which flusters Wakana, making him blush. Alerted by this, Marin believed Wakana was suffering from heat stroke and went to get him some water. She, however, bumps her head, creating a bruise, which complicates her trying on the wig she had for her cosplay. Later that day, the two visit a men's clothing shop in Shibuya, and Marin has Wakana try on an assortment of clothes, all of which don't look good on Wakana. However, Marin loves how he looks in them all. They then try on the same t-shirt together, and then hats. After this, they have some ramen together and continue their excursion around Shibuya. Eventually, Marin asks Wakana when they can prepare the Veronica cosplay together, and Wakana refuses to help any further with it. His reason is that he's incapable of looking at Marin in such an outfit that has so much exposure to her chest. Hearing this makes Marin have a playful tantrum at Wakana and promises to be more mindful of her next cosplay. As they continue walking, Marin whispers into Wakana's ear, asking him if he'd like a picture of her in the cosplay. Wakana's response is flustered and incoherent, which Marin claims that she was joking. For the next episode, check the link in the description. Thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel.